Good morning. Welcome to Melanin and Habinoid Live. I am Lady Abimbola. Welcome to today's blog. Well, I'm actually blogging about the impeachment of, or the attempted, I tend to correct myself, the attempted impeachment of the President of the United States, President Donald Trump. Well, fortunately, I believe if most of us have heard it or people are just hearing that, actually, he has been vindicated and he is a free man to preside over America without extra pressure or threat by the Democrats. Well, he made a very long speech yesterday and expressing himself on what has been going on and what he has. I mean, he has a right to, the man has a right to defend himself. And you know what? That's what it's, when you're a fighter, you just don't, throw in the towel and just, leave your fate in the hands of your oppressors. President Donald Trump, even though he may not be a perfect man, but he has always been somebody that I've been focused on with the way he presides and live his life. I'm not saying he's a perfect person, just like we're not all perfect. Well, if you look at my video, the presidential Gangstalking impeachment attack, one and two. And this is the third video I am actually shooting concerning the situation. I said it right from the beginning that this is a gang stalking attack because I know how it is. I'm also a targeted individual myself. So I know how they do. They tell a lot of lies. They're very deceptive. They are the one behind all the propaganda in the world. They're behind all the slander campaign and shame campaign. Their major strategy is to shame you into reproach, shame you with accusations that is very humiliating, that is very degrading, that is very dehumanizing. And this is what we're seeing. The president of the United States, I live here in Europe, I don't live in the United States, but I follow the world news and I follow things that are actually of importance that can actually influence the human race in one way or the other. China, America, Africa, those are things, every continent in the world, they concern me. And the presidential gang-stalking attack, immediately when I saw it, I knew this was an attack that is not going to lead into impeachment. It's just meant to ruffle the man. It's just meant to distract him and make him make mistakes, because the gang-stalking program is actually a program that they will not teach you what to do. They will just put you under enough pressure that you would willfully do wrong so they can say, now we said that. That is their strategy. I know it. I've lived it for so many years. I've been continuously attacked. I'm under 24-hour surveillance, attack, harassment, and all whatnot. So I know how it is when I see the gang stalking program attack on a person. I know this is a gang stalking program. This person has done no wrong. I'm not saying Donald Trump is a perfect man. Yes, he's a vindictive person, and sometimes he's good when you're facing the wall. The vindictive person, and he has all his flaws like every other person. But one thing is not a snitch to his country. He's not a lazy president. He has plans. He has plans. If you think he doesn't have plan, well, let's exchange the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with Donald Trump. We'll gladly have Donald Trump in Nigeria to preside over us than our own president. It's really something that we have to, as human race, we have to be very vigilant and know deception when we see it. Right from the word go, I knew this is what was a deceptive strategy. And Donald Trump, after they actually threatened him of impeachment, and they feel it was still holding his head, it was not bowing down to them, it was not doing what they wanted him to do. So the next thing they did was to threaten his finances. They want to control his finances. They believe he has done something, tax invasion. All those things was said because before he was elected as the president of the president of the United States. But even during that pressure, it made just one mistake. I felt I wanted to make a video of that, but I decided not to. When it sent the bomb when it sent the attack to Iran that actually killed one of their generals, That was a mistake, and I believe they put him under so much pressure. He felt, okay, you want somebody dead? Okay, just go ahead and do it. Because they presented the option to him. It wasn't as if he woke up and said, let's shoot Iran. They presented the option, and I believe out of pressure, because, listen, the Gangstalking program is not an easy thing. I live it every day. I live it every day, 24 hours. 24 hours. I used to live in a 150-meter square villa. Now I stay in a residence of, just like a mini studio. Basically, that's where I stay right now. It's a continuous harassment. I have people around me, even in the residence, that they've checked into Charlotte's beside me. I have two people gangstalking me every day. I have people stalking me every day. I have all kind of attack on my finances. I have my things, my online sales being, so many things. So it's a severe 24 hours pressure. So I understand what it is, even just like I am building my finances again after the sabotage and attack, and to deal with the gang stalker, to deal with harassment, to deal with lies, to deal with deception, to deal with shame campaign, to humiliate me, to stigmatize my character, to do all kind of things to me. I have to live through that. So imagine a president of a nation as big as America, with all the distraction of threat of impeachment, humiliation. Imagine they threw the impeachment attack on him when he was actually going to Europe. I think it was in France for this the meeting they had. I think it was December. They threw the attack of impeachment on him. So when he got there, they want to reduce him to nothing. They want people to walk all over him. They want him to be a laughing stock. That is, I knew it right from the beginning. If you watch my videos, the presidential gang stalking impeachment, I would link it with this video. It was all a setup. The gang stalking program, the racist system, they're all strategy to dehumanize the human race and make us bow to the worship of the Antichrist. Well, I would just want you to watch this video from Donald Trump Jr. and one of these judges, that actually supports Donald Trump profoundly. It's a shame, even what Nancy Pelosi did, stripping the first time. They always wanted to ridicule you. The gang stalkers, they're like that. They're filled with hatred. They're consumed with hatred that they don't see. When they attack you, they're so consumed with hatred, they're narcissistic hatred, that they don't even see anything than to bring you down, to destroy your life, to make you a laughing stock in the society. And I will just want to give these two testimony, of course, from Donald Trump's son himself, Donald Trump Jr., and of course with this judge that has been a strong supporter of Donald Trump, from one of the news network. Just watch this with me.
Here. Thanks so much for coming on. So what do you think the lesson of impeachment is, other than obviously we owe Ukraine everything we have, but beyond that, what's your takeaway from all this?
Well, listen, I think the obvious lesson is that the do-nothing Democrats are going to just do that. Impeachment didn't even meet Nancy Pelosi's own criteria when she set this out a few months ago. And the real problem is the Democrats and Nancy are so blinded by hatred of Donald Trump, that they can't even function. They literally cannot do anything. As they are pushing the Russia hoax, Donald Trump is signing the USMCA and getting that done, fixing NAFTA. Okay, as they're signing the articles of impeachment, Tucker, he's signing a historic trade deal with China. He still goes on, but their hatred is making them make very bad decisions. The American people see it. They saw it up front and center last night at the State of the Union, where he highlighted some incredible American stories, whether it be soldiers, whether it be just great Americana. And you see them sitting there not clapping, miserable.
Well, that's for sure. But may I just back up for a second and ask you the obvious political question? Because this was a political process with political goals. They're not stupid. it was clear from day one that this was likely to be counterproductive. They wanted to hurt the president. They helped him. Why did they do this?
Because Nancy Pelosi's been pushed into a corner by the far left of her party, right? She's not the brilliant tactician that everyone says she is. She's been bullied by a progressive left that has absolutely lost their minds. But the American people have not lost their way, Tucker. They get it. They have seen through the nonsense. They see that the impeachment hoax, which they've been pushing for 3.5 years now, is just that. It's a hoax. Okay? They couldn't do it with Russia collusion. This is just version 3.0 at this point. They've lost that battle. The American people want to see them getting in there, fixing maybe infrastructure. We have plenty of things that we could do. Infrastructure would be a great one for my father because he's actually a builder, not a politician. He would do incredible things for America with that, but they could tackle drug pricing. They could tackle any number of things. But your viewers cannot name one thing that they've even attempted to tackle other than to resist Donald Trump and his record of success.
Well, it's not even Puro, host of Justice with Judge Janine. She's the judge in the title of that and a frequent guest on the show. Judge, great to see you tonight. So you've watched this whole thing from beginning to end. If you could just, this may be the last segment we ever do on impeachment, by the way. It's the honor is yours. Put a bow on, like, what did this mean? Wrap it up for us.
Well, I think that what it means is that, you know, people are smarter than the loony left thinks they are, that there are certain things that are fundamental, and that is the right to defend yourself, the right to cross-examine, the right to call witnesses. How about this? The right to be charged with a crime? How about the fact that you have the right to at least be present? All of that was erased by the left. And as you say, and I always got a charge out of it, Tucker, when you talk about Ukraine, I didn't know Ukraine was so important until Adam Schiff told me it was important.
All
And,
important.
you know,
There's
so
nothing
I mean,
more important than Ukraine. So
Yeah,
you're paying
but-
$800 for a crappy health insurance coverage,
but what's
Ukraine's
gonna-
more important. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And now we all know that, thanks to him. But what we do know is this. In the end, Tucker, this impeachment will inure to the detriment of the Democrats. And I envision, and I hope I'm right, a House that is Republican. People are so fed up with these Democrats who want to impeach from, as he said, the time he came down that golden escalator, that they want them to work for the American people. Who do these Democrats think they are? They are so transparently transparent. All they're interested in is not you, the American people, not blue-collar successes. We want power. So we're going to let the illegals in. And, you know, if they kill a few Americans, you know, you'll deal with it. But what we want is power. And you know what? That is going to, in the end, defeat them, as well it should. And you know what? If they say impeach again, there's going to be a march on Washington, and I'm going to march this time.
I don't think they're going to at this point. That would be pretty counterproductive.
You never
so
know.
I have to ask you about last night at the State of the Union. So last year, the Speaker of the House had their awkward clapping.
Yeah.
This year, we all know it got more intense. Here's, if you didn't see it.
America, thank you very much.
Nancy the Ripper.
You know, she took off her mask last night. If you didn't already know it, her bizarre behavior has been, you know, a question for everyone. Like, I think it was Kellyanne this morning.
I'm sorry, are you
what's
saying
wrong
that
with
she was
this
wearing
woman?
a mask before?
Yeah, because she was prayerful. She does things solemnly. She only impeaches if, you know, if it's bipartisan and all that. She's a liar, okay? And she was reading and distracting last night behind the president. I kept waiting for her to jump up and say he missed a word, impeach him. You know, she was just distracting. And what she has done is she has proven to the American people that she doesn't respect them. She doesn't respect the Tuskegee Airmen. She doesn't respect the family of Kayla Mueller. She doesn't respect the family of Jody Jones, the brother who was shot. Anyone killed in a sanctuary city. This is about pure power. And when she is in the most hallowed halls of Congress, behind the commander-in-chief, to rip up those sheets of paper is akin to her ripping up the Constitution, American jurisprudence, everything that the president has done for the American people, from the economy to school choice to all of the things he talked about. She doesn't care about any of that.
Do you think it was planned? I mean, was this something that, you know, she couldn't contain? She's
No,
so
this
mad
was
she ripped it
planned.
in half?
I'll tell you why it
was.
was planned. If you were really mad, you took all those sheets of paper and you ripped them and you slammed them down. She took a few and she did it this way. This camera might catch her this way. Take a few more this way. And then she said, I ripped it up because there was not one piece of paper that didn't have a lie on it. She also said the president was deceitful on every page. She is wrong, wrong, wrong. And in the end...
No, wait, why not? I mean, the president made a bunch of statements, claims last night. Why didn't she rebut them? So he said, for example, that the Democratic Party, the candidates, would like to give health care to people who aren't here legally. And is that not true? In other words, like, why don't we have a debate about any of these actual policies?
Because she can't. If you put together all of the Democrats running for president, every one of them raised their hands. I wouldn't even respond to it. I just play the video. It's like everything else, the audio of the transcript. They say, don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your lying ears. If it is what they say it is, it's a lie. This is a game. It's a shell game. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi is the queen of the shell game. And this is going to be her last term as Speaker. She has lost it. And you know what? She deserves it because she's smarter than to buckle to AOC, Rashida Tlaib, and the rest of that crew.
Judge Jeanine Pirro, thanks so much for that.
Now, welcome back. So you've seen, the testimony of these two people and, the drama that went on during the trial, the clapping of fake hands a year ago, and of course this time, like actually destroying the speech of a president. Because to start with, all the cameras are on the president and you are behind the president. So whatever activity is on the president, that can, whatever the video catches of the president will catch everything going on behind the president also. But the video is going to catch your I think it was just a final shame strategy against the president. And of course, people saw beyond the facade. People are waking up now. They are aware of the Gangstalking program. They're aware about the racist system. All albinoid is not bad. All albinoid is not racist. But the racist system is established and is causing so much pain, hatred, and torture in the human heart. And the Gangstalking program also is causing so much dehumanization, is driving so many to mental hospitals, is making people really sick. They're making people sick. They make what physical sickness, mental sickness, and all kind of sickness you can think of. These are things we have to see behind the facade that they're presenting to us. That way, we'll be able to keep this world a safer place for everyone to live. It's just some few bad eggs amongst us sold their soul to Satan. They want to destroy the world, but we don't have to allow it. We don't have to permit it. We just have to keep on being humans, being vigilant, and being obedient to God. Thank you for listening to me today. And remember, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So as I always say, face your fears, elevate your mind, and resist every temptation to panic. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on my next blog. Now that President Trump has been vindicated and he is a free president to preside freely over America, now Nancy Pelosi must be impeached for abuse of power.